volatility, but I don't expect too much coming from that. Okay, so good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 5th of January. Sorry, this system seems a bit slow this morning, but anyway, we're off. So, sorry, I'll just go back to where I started. We have, in news-wise today, we've got the OPEC meeting I thought was over yesterday, where the Russians insisted on producing an extra 500 million barrels per day, or that quota has been increased. And it looks like that was what was agreed. I wasn't sure there was a second day, but if there is a second day, we just watch out on that anyway. We'll come back to that in a little while. Other news, ISM manufacturing PMI. Well, not much to talk about there, so I will leave that alone. It's not a big mover in any normal circumstances, so little in the way of news. Okay, side of that. Hi there. Aside of that, then let's have a look technically at some of these markets first. I'm going to just run through the forex pairs first. I did promise a bit of crypto. Let's look at crypto then. So in a moment, starting off with the euro dollar. Euro yesterday pushed up, almost breaking it, running into those previous highs there. It's on this daily picture, it's still in a bullish trend at this stage. It may still have further upside to go. Aside of that, looking at the shorter time frames, well, it just didn't break those highs yesterday. It's struggling a little bit here, and I'm looking at it this morning, and well, a break below this weekly pivot would, to me, maybe suggest there's further downside to come. At the moment, it's still hasn't put a lower high in or anything like that, so still drifting upwards effectively. I say drifting is probably loose word, but there we are. So we'll just see how we are this morning. Just looking, it's already through its daily pivot at this stage. That weekly pivot looks like a decent draw now. As I say, a break, we may just get a bounce off that. A break of that certainly makes it look a lot more bearish. Hi Drew, good morning. Okay, that's the euro. Let's have a look at the pound. Okay, so the pound yesterday, I talked about this regression line. I keep this regression channel on, not to trade from, but just really just to keep us the eye in what the main trend is. The main trend, of course, is still bullish here at the stage on the pound. I expected a bigger sort of drop on the news of Brexit, to be fair, but it never occurred. We've seen a bit of a correction at the moment. We've got the monthly pivot sitting down there below at about 34.92, which I expect a bit more of a move down to that potentially. And I'm just seeing the way this is shaping up. It does look a bit soft at this stage. Still bullish trend on the dailies, 4 hourlies. It's looking, well, it looks like this is a bear flag sort of territory, and we could just see it sort of certainly looking on the hourly basis of wanting to roll. As I say, already through a daily pivot. That monthly pivot down there at 34.92 does look appealing. And I will look at this post 8 o'clock. I do just got to be a bit wary of this first bit of movement pre 8 o'clock. So often these markets will get a decent look, what looks like a decent move, then retrace, and it may be from the retrace we get an opportunity. So at the moment the pound looking soft there, in a still, as I said, in a bullish trend. It may just come back to its mean. Good morning, Sachin. Okay, pound, dollar yen then. Dollar yen, another market. It's well, yesterday just ended up on a doji bar there, still in this downward trend overall, and there's nothing really changing there. It's the dollar yen itself. I've not been trading. I've traded the pound yen yesterday. We had a nice little setup on it, which triggered, and off it went, and that was okay. The dollar yen, it did actually move quite nicely yesterday at one stage, but as when the dollar started pushing back, it gave up some ground there. Okay, today, well, personally I'd still like to see it rolling back in terms of its trade. It's a mess at the moment on this hourly basis. Maybe a bit of a stall around that daily pivot there. The key moving averages there. If it stalls around that area, we may get a bit of continuation back towards yesterday's lows and its S1. But it is a bit of a mess. Certainly doesn't stand out as a trade I want to be in. I'm more interested in that pound at the stage. Aussie dollar. Aussie's still one of the strongest pairs out there. And side of the pound. It was actually about the strongest yesterday. It did double top there and roll over. It's pushing back, or trying to push back up again at this moment. Bit of a reversal on this current bar. As I said, this sort of 7 o'clock bar can often completely give a reversal, and then you just get the original trend continue. So I'll be wary of this. For me, if I was looking to short this, I'd be looking at waiting until it broke that 60-minute 21, just to give me a chance of it not bouncing off these shorter term moving averages. A break past that, well, could be on for something more significant. We've still got the monthly pivot below, but I must admit I was surprised yesterday it came all the way back to the weekly, but there we are. That monthly pivot may still come back if we get some dollar strength later in the afternoon. Canadian dollar, I don't day trade this myself at all. It's a bit of it robs people left, right, and centre in terms of some of its, especially the morning movements. Bullish day yesterday for it, and it's looking like it may want to go up and catch that monthly pivot at some stage. Coming down the time frames, well, nothing too dissimilar on that basis. And well, it's looking, as I say, looking at the moment off its daily pivot here, as if it wants to head up that way. Bit of a mess yesterday, just consolidated for quite some time. As I say yesterday, but yesterday evening there through the US session, an Asian session, bit of a breakdown, but well, we'll see where it goes today. As I said, personally, day trading, I would leave it alone, but there we are. Right, they're the majors I'm looking at from that point of view. I did promise I can't look at Wei Keychain governance coin at the moment. I can look at a few of the major. I've got to bring in a different bit of software here, charting, because I don't have them all. I don't have the say the cash prices. Just a quick look then at where we are with these cryptocurrencies. I'll see if I can find it for you for maybe tomorrow. But cryptocurrencies, yesterday we saw the huge sell-off on the Bitcoin there, but it's almost like a, I don't know, maybe driven by people just profit taking, having seen how far it had been pushing up over the break there. On the futures market, that was a huge gap. It's selling off again at the moment today, pushing down. Maybe it's just having a bit of a correction here. I'm still sort of thinking, well, at the moment with the bigger money starting to move in there, we can see that on the futures that the money's starting to go into Bitcoin. Big money's going in there. That we could just see as I say, a bit of a correction now, and it pushing up. I mean, one down day, it doesn't make a trend, does it? So at the moment, it's still looking okay. Ethereum yesterday, well, it gained back most of its losses there, and well, so gained back. It obviously it pushed up, but Ethereum really kicking it yesterday effectively, and although it did come right away back to 881 there, it managed to push back up there. Still, to me, bigger time frame, I just think it's got further upside here. Day trading these coins, personally, it wouldn't be for me, but I do appreciate a lot of people would do it. I think it's much more, a lot of traders that are in cryptos are sitting there and looking at it as a long-term venture. One I'm looking at actually is, I mean, we've seen Ripple being the US taking some action against Ripple. I think personally their coin may be a half decent punt, but that's my personal opinion there, which I just think that around these sort of lows it may be good value, but we'll see. I'm actually looking at putting my toe in the water on Ripple, but we'll see how it goes with it. But I just see it as very speculative on all of these coins. I see them very speculative, as is trading forex. So there we are. That's all I'm looking at for this morning on those cryptos. Looking aside of that, I'll get asked about oil and gold. So let's have a look at gold first, as it's the one I just clicked. Gold, good push up yesterday, held on right up to the close there effectively. Solid all day. Consolidation where it is at the moment. Consolidation around the high generally leads to further highs, and well, it's consolidating quite well. It could pitch back. It's got a daily pivot sitting below there, has a gap down there. Maybe at some point, if it starts rolling over, that gap becomes a bit more of a magnet to be filled. But where it sits at the moment, I wouldn't be looking to short it. If anything, I think this has got further upside to go, particularly as this first quarter where we could be still seeing a weaker US dollar. So gold there. For me, it's not a buy here, but if you got it, hold it, would be my opinion. Okay, that's gold. S&Ps briefly, and then we'll look at oil. Sorry, S&Ps. So just looking at this as a bearish engulfing yesterday on the S&Ps. It really wasn't the day many might have expected, and certainly when I looked at it the first thing in the morning, I just thought, well, it may just push on to some more highs. You've got to remember it's still in a huge trend as it's kicking up through here, and you just sort of need to remind yourself, bring out to the weekly, and even these corrections that we saw there didn't go too far at all. And well, in the bigger game, it's still got potential for further upside. That bearish engulfing today, yep, it looks a little bit soft where it's sitting, but it seems to be hanging on, hanging in there. A break back above its daily pivot, that 60-minute 200 for me would be more of a bullish signal. It would give us a higher low technically, and we could see further upside. So I can't get massively bearish on these equity futures, or these equity markets, because the big money has nowhere to go, and there's no premium anywhere else, and that's what they're looking for. Maybe other risk elsewhere, but certainly at the moment the dollar doesn't look great. Okay, that's that. And finally oil. Sorry, just running through everything here. I'll have a quick look for you on the Aussie New Zealand dollar in just a second. It is bullish, so I would say that straight off, John. It's one I've liked shorting for a long time, but anyway, just have a look at this oil first. Oil pushed into a new high yesterday. I think this is overrated at the moment, to be fair. $50 in a tighter market makes sense, but we're not running quite such a tight market now. Do I want to short it? It's not really giving me a signal quite yet, but maybe if it starts breaking down these from these lows here, I could be a bit more bearish on it and may trade it to the downside. It's as I say, just consolidating where it's sitting at the moment. Okay, I can't look through everything here. Sorry, I can't do the Trump coin. Trump coin. Okay, go on. Sorry, I'm just going to Aussie New Zealand dollar. Quick look at the Aussie New Zealand dollar. This has been a favourite of mine in the past to be shorting. At the moment, if I can get the picture coming up there, if anything at the moment it does look like it's got a bit more to the potentially to the upside. Bit of divergence depending on what indicator you're looking at over these highs here, but I think that basically got worked off on the it's sort of a worked off movement, that retracement there. So I'm still erring personally towards the upside. This is a pair that is often highly correlated, so we do tend to get these weeks where you just see chop like this, and we've seen it in sort of 3 weeks leading up to the Christmas break there. Well, up to Christmas it was here, wasn't it? And the New Year's week was just a bit of sell-off. It's still got the potential there for more upside, but in the bigger picture I still like the New Zealand dollar slightly better, and I'm just sort of waiting for an opportunity to jump on the downside, but caught it on some of these moves here and here, but at the moment it's still got the potential for upside. Okay, that's pretty much it for me this morning. I can't run on too much more. I wish you a great day. I will speak to you very soon, tomorrow morning. Bye for now.